I think that it's a symbol of the Olympic spirit. It's a symbol of trying to bring the world together under this peaceful notion of the Olympic spirit. And certainly, from a historical point of view, that is very much what the flame symbolises. It symbolises the start of the amnesty that was that was brought together during the Olympic Games. And I think for most athletes, it's also a symbol that it's here, it's starting.
So, should there be protests against the flame?
I don't believe so. No. You know, I'm very strongly of the opinion that ultimately the Olympic Games is not a political viewpoint. It's not an opportunity for people to push their own political agenda. I appreciate that people with grievances see it as an opportunity to gain the most publicity and the most attention for their cause. But I think that we need to allow the athletes of the world and the Olympic movement to be able to continue in the spirit of peace and the spirit of the apolitical stance that sport has had.
Now, you are not only an Olympic champion, but now you're on the board of the World Olympians Association, which represents former Olympic athletes. You must be in touch with a lot of Olympic athletes around the world. When you hear talk about there's no real pressure for a sporting boycott of these games coming really from anywhere. When you hear talk about other sorts of potential boycotts, some sort of boycott of the opening ceremony, something that doesn't affect competition, does that get your hackles up?
Oh, look, I think everybody has their own opinion on that. You know, some people feel a lot more strongly about the issues surrounding Tibet than others. But I think that, you know, by and large, there is a feeling that ultimately if we want to influence others to see our point of view, if we want to have open lines of communication and be able to work together for a common understanding and goal, you know, aggressive protests and boycotts aren't the way to do it. You know, it's not going to bring around people to our way of thinking or our viewpoint on the world. And
you've got a unique perspective on this as well. Your wife is of Chinese descent. Your in-laws live here in Hong Kong. You've travelled to China to Hong Kong many times. You've also had the Olympics in your own home country, Sydney, in 2000. Do you understand and relate to what some people see as almost a negative rise of Chinese nationalism based around these games? Do you see that as a natural outgrowth of simply the excitement of having the games?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, this has always been put forward as China's opportunity to open its doors to the world and show the rest of the world what China is, what it has to offer, its cultural and historical significance. I mean, we're talking about a many thousands-year-old society, and unfortunately, you know, there is a lot of stigma that's placed around China. There's a lot of misunderstanding coming from the West, and a lot of this sort of protest, I think, seems to just be reinforcing that. And what I guess I had hoped for, and I think most people in the Olympic movement had hoped for, is that this was an opportunity for everybody to get together, to start to converse and understand each other, and maybe try and find a way to communicate each other's views on sensitive issues, as opposed to leading down I guess a more violent or argumentative path. And
very, very quickly, because we're nearly out of time, a quick swimming question. Michael Phelps, the Baltimore Bullet. Some are saying he's got the potential to be the greatest swimmer the world has ever seen. Can he win 7 gold medals or more and eclipse Mark Spitz in Beijing?
Of course he can. You never say never with an athlete that is as amazing as Michael Phelps. He is an extraordinary athlete. I think he's got every opportunity to win the 7. I think the challenge for him is going to be coping with the morning finals. By adjusting the swimming schedule, there's a chance he's going to be a very tired guy by the end of the week.